Hi, and welcome to another episode of All Things Considered. Tonight, I want to speak to you about Bill Gates. He says the economy is not fair. In a headline that screamed, "My $109 billion net worth shows the economy is not fair." And he went on to say in an interview that was done just January 3rd, 2020, which I'm getting this to you a day or two or late. Bill Gates, speaking at the 2019 WEF in Davos, Switzerland on January 23rd, 2019. That was the photo that they used, was from that. But here it says Bill Gates, the second richest person in the world with a current net worth of 108.8 billion, according to Forbes magazine, says his extreme wealth is not fair. The distance between top and bottom incomes in the United States is much greater than it was 50 years ago, which is true. 50 years ago, the richest and the poorest were a little closer together. Gates wrote a blog post reflecting on 2019, published Tuesday. Indeed, American income inequality is at its highest levels in decades, according to the U.S. Census and Bureau's Gini Index, or GINI. I guess that's Gini Index. He said, "A few people end up with a great deal. I've been disproportionately rewarded for the work I've done. And while many others who work just as hard struggle to get by," he wrote. And I've said that in the past. I've said that the people that work the hardest should make the most money. The ones that work the least should make the least money. And apparently Bill feels the same way. Although he's not going to just stop making billions of dollars. But in Bill's defense, Bill and Linda Gates, they are giving an awful lot of their money to charity. So they kind of get a pass here. And when Bill Gates says something like this, I tend to take him to the bank on it. I'm for a tax system in which, to solve the problem, Gates said the U.S. government should raise taxes that affect the wealthy. The wealthy's not going to like you. They're going to hate you, Bill. I'm for a tax system in which if you have more money, you pay a higher percentage in taxes. Well, that's fair. I'm a size 54, waist-wise. When I go into the store and I buy a pair of jeans or a pair of pants that's a size 54, I pay more because I'm getting more material. And when it comes time to pay more for the pants, the tax that I pay on the pants is higher because I'm paying a larger amount. The percentage is still the same. The percentage is still the same as a cheaper pair of pants. The percentage of the dollar is still the same. I just have to pay a higher tax because I'm paying more dollars. So instead of, say, the pants being $11 and say it's 11 cents on the dollar, then I'm paying $28 for the jeans, which means that I pay 11 cents on $28, 11 cents each dollar. So that's $2 and 11 cents on the dollar. That's 11, 20, 11. Yeah, well, that's a little over $2 and something. Okay, here. It says here, I have a tax system in which you have more money, you pay a higher percentage in taxes. I think the rich should pay more than they currently do, and that includes Melinda and myself. Gates wrote, referring to his wife. I said Linda. I should have said Melinda, because that's how they say it. Specifically, he said, there should be a higher capital gains tax, a tax on money made on investments, which should disproportionately affect the wealthy. Which would disproportionately affect the wealthy. None of the richest people in the world have made their fortune solely through a salaried job. And for that reason, Gates believes the government should shift more of the tax burden onto capital rather than labor, which is true. Now, I have said this in the past, that when you own a business, you're the CEO of, say, Amazon, and your name is Jeff Bezos, and you own a company, you're the CEO, you pay yourself a salary. You cannot lump what you pay yourself into what your company made. That is to be separate. What you made last year should be taxed appropriately, and you should pay every dollar that you should get taxed on from your personal salary. Now, your job that you own, Amazon, now Amazon could get a break. Amazon could get a tax break. I don't think Amazon has paid any taxes whatsoever. If I'm wrong, put it in a comment below and show me where Amazon has paid taxes, income, federal income, and state and city taxes on Amazon. Show me that, and I will redo this video, or I will put it in the description as an edit. I don't think he has paid any taxes, but my point being is that if Jeff Bezos is making, say, $10 million a year in a salary, he has to pay the appropriate taxes on that $10 million. He can't say, I'm being taxed so much, my business is hurting. No, you can't do that, because your business is separate from your personal. If I own a business and I pay myself a salary and I'm supposed to pay 30% of the dollar toward the income tax, or I'm supposed to pay, say, 10% or 7% or 20% or whatever the taxes are, then I should have to pay just like the regular folks, the middle class. They don't get to skimp on their taxes. If they do, they go to jail for it. They have to pay every single dollar. Uncle Sam holds them accountable. The rich should be paying the same taxes that middle class pay. The business is a different story, because the business is taxed separate from the business owner. The business owner pays a tax, his company pays a tax. The company can get a tax break, but he is not allowed to get a tax break. He has to pay every single dollar that he makes. And if he invests money and makes a profit off those investments, he should be taxed on that. Why is it fair for us to go play the lottery, which is not earned income, by the way, but we get taxed on it like it's earned income? We have to pay federal income tax if we win, say, $40 million in the lottery. We have to pay taxes on that. Now, can we declare taxes? No. If I ever win the lottery, I'm going to challenge that. I'm going to say, look, we were taxed on this $40 million as income. They took income tax out. Therefore, I am going to count that as earned income, because they took out income tax. Therefore, it is considered earned. So therefore, I am going to challenge that if I win the lottery. And I can almost guarantee you they will make it very difficult for me to get this off the ground, because they like taking our money, but they don't like giving it back. If you can take the income taxes out of my lottery winnings, I should be able to get money back out of that. Now, it says here, specifically, he said there should be a higher capital gains tax. I've already read that to you, because he said there's disproportionately, it's going to affect the wealthy. None of the richest people in the world have made their fortunes through solely through salary jobs. I do not see any reason to favor wealth over work the way we do today. He wrote, it's the clearest evidence I've seen that the system is not fair. Billionaire tech entrepreneur and investor Mark Cuban has also highlighted how the difference between the investor class and the paid labor is a factor in the wealth gap. He said if someone is only going to be paid by the hour, let me repeat that. If someone is only going to get paid by the hour, they're always going to fall behind. The ones that get paid by the hour are always going to fall behind. Cuban told the Recode Decode in May. And income distribution is the disparity is going to get wider and wider. And income distribution is, well, the disparity is going to get wider and wider. While Cuban has called paying taxes patriotic, he also suggests that founders and owners should distribute stock in the company to employees to bring them into the investor class. We as entrepreneurs have got to make a point to give stock to everyone that works for us. Period. End of story. No exceptions, because that's the only way people are going to get any type of equity appreciation. Cuban said he did just that with online streaming service broadcast.com, which Cuban co-founded and sold to Yahoo in 1999 for almost $6 billion in stock. 300 out of 330 broadcast employees became millionaires at the same time of its sale. Cuban previously told CNBC, "Make it." Cuban also said in Tuesday's blog post that the U.S. should have a higher estate tax, which would affect the rich. A dynamic system where you can pass vast wealth along to your children is not good for anyone. The next generation doesn't end up with the same incentives to work hard and contribute to the economy. That's true. Now, when I was a kid and I was in high school, we had a job working at the local grocery store. And what we did was bagged groceries. And people say, "Oh, you bagged groceries?" Well, we got credits at school for working at the grocery store. Plus, we learned how it is to work a job, the importance of having a job. We got paid roughly about $1.75 an hour back then. But we learned what it means to work and make your own way. We didn't rely on nobody. Gates said a dynamic system where you can pass vast wealth along to your children is not good. Oh, that's what Gates said. Gates also said it's one of the reasons he co-founded the Giving Pledge with Warren Buffett, who also has said the rich should pay higher taxes. The Giving Privilege invites billionaires to commit to giving away the majority of their money to charity, and both the Gates and Buffett have made the pledge. I know well many of the mega rich, and by and large, they are very decent people. They love America and appreciate the opportunity this country has given them. Many have joined the Giving Pledge, promising to give most of their wealth to philanthropy, Buffett wrote in the New York Times back in 2011. Most wouldn't mind being told to pay more in taxes as well, particularly when so many of their fellow citizens are truly suffering, Buffett said. My friends and I have been coddled along. My friends and I have coddled long enough by a billionaire-friendly Congress. It's time for our government to get serious about shared sacrifice. Fortunately, whether through taxes or philanthropy, extraordinary wealth needs to be reinvested in society, according to Gates. That's true, but you can't force somebody to do the right thing. If they're going to do the right thing, they need to feel like they've done it on their own because they'll feel good about doing that. Nobody likes to be told what to do. Nobody wants to be forced to eat their broccolis and their cauliflowers and their spinaches and their celeries. But if they find out a way to eat it, if they find out a way to make it taste good and they eat it, then they reap the benefits from that. And they feel better about it because they eat it on their own, not because mom forced them to eat their cauliflower. Melinda and I, said Bill Gates, Melinda and I believe that driving progress is wealth's highest purpose. Gates wrote in Tuesday's blog post, our wealth comes with an obligation to give back to society. In 2020, we are committed to continue living up to that obligation through our taxes, through our foundation, and through our personal giving. And for that, I applaud you, Bill and Melinda. Mark Cuban, my hat's off to you as well. Warren Buffett, always a pleasure. Anybody else that is rich, that gives back to society, helps everybody around them as much as they can, and pays their fair share to help America become a better country. And it takes money to make money. America can't survive on its own. It needs money to fix things, such as roads and bridges, and the rich use things as much as we do. But, it's going to be difficult. But hopefully, going into 2020, things will be better. According to Bill Gates, who gets a good pass in my book because he is already helping and donating, and he is also helping Seattle and various other places outside of Seattle. His money is going far to help the greater good. If you have an idea for a comment, please put it in the comment section below. If you have anything to add to this video, please put it in the comments below as well. I appreciate everything you write. Even if I don't agree with it, please give me an idea on why maybe I should agree with it. Make a good argument, but let's not argue. Let's have a discussion. And I will write back to you. If I am wrong, I will say so in the comments. And I will also say so up in the description. And I will admit that I am wrong if I am wrong. I don't stick to my guns unless I know 100% for sure that I am right. And if everybody else believes that I am right because I am right, then I am right. If you believe that I'm not right and can prove that I'm not right, then I'll admit my mistake. Anyway, I'm going to let you go on that note. If you want to hit the big old thumbs up, please do so. Give me a big old thumbs up. This thing here, the big old thumb. Yes. And also hit the subscribe button. It's around there someplace. If you poke around, you'll find it. This has been All Things Considered. Have a good night, Seattle, America, and all points beyond.